Well, welcome back to the Church Tech 101 podcast. And this is episode 13 entitled Diamond in the Rough. I was having a chat the other day with a church music director, and we're looking at doing a sound system upgrade for this church. And he said to me, "What do you look for in tech volunteers?" And I had to kind of sit down and think about that because I'm not sure that I've ever written it down. I mean, I have things that I look for, but I don't know that I could articulate those. And so I wrote them down and I sent them to him, and I thought, boy, this would be a good podcast episode. So let me talk about 3 things that I look for in church tech volunteers, and also a couple things that I don't look for. I feel like a lot of churches do their tech recruiting upside down, and let's address that. The first thing I look for is a servant's heart. Now, some of you will say, well, the first thing you should look for is someone with technical aptitude, and I wholeheartedly disagree with you. I think the person that you should look for is a person with a servant's heart. And because that person will be willing to do large or small tasks, and they have a good attitude about serving, that's something that I can't teach them. I can teach them how to turn on the sound system, how to adjust levels on the mixer, how to start the live stream. That is all teachable stuff. But if I start with a volunteer who is somebody who knows everything already, and by that I mean like they're never wrong. You can't ever tell them. They're always right. You don't know what you're talking about. When you start with that attitude and that person, I think you're setting yourself up for trouble down the road. So, number 1, someone with a servant's heart, willing to do large or small tasks. Not even like the big visible things. And even in sound, there are things in tech, there are things that are big and visible, and there are things that are small and unnoticed. And so I think that's important. Number 2 is faithfulness. You know, at my church, we've just lost one of our tech team families where we had multiple people from that family who worked in our tech department at Front Range. And I really can say of their whole family that they were faithful. They were there every time, all the time, when they were scheduled, and sometimes when they weren't scheduled. And that is a hard thing to find. I feel like in today's society, especially even like in employment, we've just taken the tact like, well, I'll just take a sick day, even if I'm not sick. I just need a break for me. I just don't feel like doing that today. Instead of being faithful, even when it's not convenient or when you don't feel like it. And so I think that's important. I don't need fickle volunteers who just cancel on me. There's nothing like a scramble in the tech booth on a Sunday morning when you don't have enough people because somebody decided, I'm going to go to the beach today, or we're going to go to the mountains, or, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to be gone. So faithfulness. That's what I want to see in a tech volunteer. That's important. And it's really important because a lot of times with tech, you're there before everybody else, and then setting things up and getting ready. And then you're there after everybody's left, tearing things down and putting things away. And so, faithfulness, it's important. And then the third thing is excellence. I need somebody who does their best, and they're willing to learn and grow better. And I think that really can make or break your tech team. I know that, there are some people that they're just kind of a seat warmer. Do you know what I mean? Like they show up and they sit in the sound booth, but they're never proactive. They don't leave the booth. They just kind of do what they need to do to get by. That's not a volunteer that I need in tech. I need somebody who is willing to do their best and make sure that the mic's on at the right time and that the slides are synced up the best that they can. And, there's never going to be a perfect service. And when it happens, please let me know and send me a picture or a video of it. That'd be amazing. Something is going to go wrong almost every week. And, or something could have been done better, but find that volunteer who strives for excellence. They try to do their best and honor the Lord with it. And this goes back to technical. I know there are a certain number of volunteers. They're technical people and they know a lot, but they just kind of wing it every week. There's no plan, or they don't follow the plan, or they don't try to know what the plan is. And I think that is not excellence. It is just relying on your skill set or your knowledge to kind of get you through. And so those are the three things that I look for in a tech volunteer: a servant's heart, faithfulness, and excellence. And let me say this: if you have awesome tech volunteers, please, please, please take care of them. I can probably count on one hand the number of times that I've been doing sound since the 90s for churches. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've gotten a thank you card for my work in the tech booth. One hand, less than 5. Many of those thank you notes that I have are still posted in my office. That's how much it means to me that somebody noticed that I was doing my best to serve. And I feel like often the tech team gets all the negatives. Oh, we should have done this. Why didn't you do that? What was wrong here? And they don't get enough positives. So take time and appreciate your tech team. Once a year, normally at Christmas time, I try to do something for my whole volunteer team, even if I pay for it. A little something to give them to say, hey, thank you. Even if it's just like, a big chocolate bar and a thank you note or something that says to them, hey, you've done a great job, and I'm really thankful for your work behind the scenes this year. So that is it. Episode 13. And I really hope it was helpful. It's a short one, but I think it's a very important one. And I'll see you on the next episode.